Hi, Kuzla here, and I'm making a third video in at least 6 hours, something like that. I might have to readdress the whole thing of, making videos 24/7. Um, but besides that, I actually want to share something with you guys and share something, just that kind of as the way I see the world. Okay? There, there's lots of ways. Everybody will tell you that there are ways to live in this world, live your life, believe this, believe that, things like that. And I've personally myself, I have my own way of doing it. Everybody else also has their own way of doing it. This is one of the great things that makes being where we live in, and the majority of the people who get a chance to see this, is of live in America. Okay, I might get the off viewer who will see this, like in Europe or Asia, something like that. But generally, my the audience that are going to see this particular video, they are residing in America. Okay. Now, America is a place that is comprised of a lot of rights, a lot of differential views, a lot of things that come along that conflict constantly. And a lot of it is protected by the United States Constitution. People have the freedom of religion, people have the freedom of free speech, people have the freedom to bear arms, all these things. They're all protected by the Constitution. And we're also, on top of that, protected by laws. Okay? Now, as we all understand them, laws are put there to ensure that we don't have things like people stealing our shit, or people trying to kill us, or people trying to harm another person. And so, be it verbally or physically, mentally is another big one. And that's part of living in America. Okay? But, you know, when it boils down to it, these laws are the things that you live by to an extent. The main reason why I say live by to an extent is because of one very simple thing. We all live here. We all have our own things, our own views, our own way of going through life. Okay? So bear with me on this. I am, this may sound like I'm rambling, but I am actually getting to a point. So, in America, we have all these rights and whatnot. And personally, I think that's great. You have people that will sit there and they will, uh, they have their freedom of religion, so they can, worship whatever religion they want to worship. You have your freedom of speech, so you can say whatever you want to say. Um, the right to bear arms if you feel the need that you have to pick up a weapon and defend yourself for some way, shape, or form. You have that right too. But what about the world you live in specifically? Okay? Where do the rights stop and being a person begins? Okay? I think that this is a fair question to ask. The main reason why I think it's a fair question to ask is because of the simple thing that, the United States is great and all with all the freedoms and liberties that they give to a vast majority of the people, provided that they fall into certain categories. But Uh, America itself is just a big chunk of land, pure and simple. It was here before these concepts came up. And I just have the simple thing that I have to ask, and I have to ask it because of just where I live, you know. I mean, where I live, I mean, we have trees and we got all sorts of stuff that are just, everybody's seen it. The grass grows, the sky's blue, children run around and play and whatnot. I mean, we live with our environment. Okay, so what do you do when your environment becomes part of your life? And I have a very simple example of that. Let me put the mic down here for a moment. Hopefully, it will keep reading what I'm saying. It seems to be pretty sensitive, so hopefully, you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Put it on top of my beer. So, in this cup, when I went out and I was doing my laundry, I found a garter snake. Okay, now the garter snake had crawled into the house somehow. I don't know how it got in here, but it's in here now. Okay, it's part of the environment. All right. Now, the main reason why I grabbed it and put it in this cup in the first place was because of the fact that my roommate, who is a great guy, has 9 cats. Okay, now these 9 cats were all starting to come downstairs and they were all starting to notice the garter snake. Okay, now a cat, if you give it a chance, will kill a garter snake if given the possibility of that happening. I mean, it's just what cats do. Cats are a type of primordial hunter that Tabby, the lovable cat that you have at home and stuff. If you let Tabby get the chance, Tabby will bring you a mouse that they've personally killed. Now, I decided that I was going to step up and save this garter snake. Okay, because 9 on 1 odds, that's not favorable for anybody. So, why did I do that? Well, the answer is really, really simple. Um, I believe in life. Okay, I believe in people being able to live with their surroundings, and on top of that, being able to coexist with them. Okay, so yeah, I may be some guy who sits down and drinks beer, probably a way too much more, and not just beer. I mean, like my vodka and my rum and stuff like that. I'm really fond of them all. But I do believe that people can coexist with the things around them. When you hear about things like people getting attacked by sharks or people getting attacked because, the fucking bear came walking into Yellowstone and they were stupid enough to give it food and stuff, this is not coexisting. This is being an idiot. Okay? Coexisting with the things around you is a completely different thing entirely than, oh, the bear that wandered into the visitor section. If you wanted to coexist with that bear that wandered into the visitor center and stuff, you leave the bear alone. You don't give it food, you don't give it water, you let it go about its merry business. And the same thing is with this garter snake in this cup. Now, granted, he's a lot smaller than a bear. Okay, he's not going to dash half of my head right off of my shoulders with a single swipe. He's small. I mean, he's probably lucky if he's 8 inches, but he's also in a place that is not native to him, and because of that is the reason why I decided to step in and pick him up and bring him in my room where I've got a space heater going and he can actually be a little bit more energetic outside of my room, because you can see the door right behind me is the basement where I live. And even though the furnace is right outside of my door, the basement is relatively chilly. And as anybody knows who understands basic animal biology, that a snake is a reptile. Reptiles are cold-blooded animals, so therefore, when they're in a cold area, they become very lethargic, which is what he had done. I mean, I bumped him with my door, and all he did was just kind of coil himself up into a little tighter ball because he's cold and he's just trying to conserve body heat. So, with that said, me deciding to actually bring him into my room and let him warm up some, so therefore he's actually a little bit more energetic and whatnot, I think that is a perfectly acceptable thing. Okay, now granted, he's a garter snake. I mean, he is one of these little things that, with the, in the environment that he's normally allowed and stuff, he saves. He keeps people from having to deal with pests left and right. So, that's just what garter snakes do. They don't ask a lot out of people. They don't ask anything out of people and whatnot. But yet, there are people who will just like, oh, it's a snake, get rid of it, kill it, and stuff like that. No. Why? I mean, he's part of the environment, and, if you let him go about doing what he's going to do, he's going to let you go about doing what you're going to do. Which, unfortunately, if you decide to kill him, then you're going to kill him and whatnot. But, hopefully you'll look beyond that. Hopefully you'll actually see something and realize that you are part of this world. You are part of your environment. Your environment, your world, supersedes the laws of the country you live in. And because of that, things like, this little guy right here, very snake I'm talking about. So, and as you can see, let me move into the light a little bit more. That's a garter snake. All he wants to do is find a warm place and then maybe eat a cricket or something like that. He's not concerned about killing anything or trying to live in this world where he has to worry about people what they think about him or anything like that. He is a garter snake. He's one simple, small facet of this world that makes the world go around. Okay? There's nothing really scary about this guy and stuff. He's more scared of me right now than anything in this world. Okay? I mean, look at it. I mean, he is tiny. I am easily 1,000 times his size. Okay? And you know what? Little guys like this, which basically translates to all of us, because when you take a look at the planet, with the planet, it is easily over 1,000 times our size. And the planet also very easily lets us know that we are insignificant. We are as insignificant to the planet as he is to the majority of the people on this planet. But the only way, seriously, that you're going to be able to deal with things on this planet is simply and easily just to realize that it's your environment. It's where you live, and you have to get along with it. And that's all there really is to it.